Good work day today. Took a little bit off of them. Just in the time of practice. Went shortened periods. Got some good work. Really focusing on fundamentals, continuing to build in that aspect. Got some special teams work. Did get some speed on speed. Just to keep keep progressing and keep pushing these guys with the speed of the game. Going back and reevaluating all aspects of Saturday. Obviously, it was disappointing. Did not play very well in any aspect. It's something that I thought we were in a good place. Night before, morning of, first drive, go down and score, but we fell behind, gave up some explosive plays and really, lost some momentum. And I thought, through the course of the game, really started pressing, trying to do things that were outside of the realm of what we're being asked to do. Throughout the course of the contest, and so we've got to continue to trust the techniques, trust the fundamentals. We find ourselves in a position to make a play. We've got to make a play. We had a lot of missed opportunities, whether it's drop passes, missed tackles, misfits to a gap. Those things that are critical when you're playing a team that is explosive. You got to respond and play at a high level. And I know I said it last week playing against Louisville, that if we didn't do our job and play at a high level, that they could expose us in a couple areas. And that's something that definitely played itself out. And we just got to continue to grow in where we are and our mindset, approach in all aspects. But I thought our guys have done a good job since Sunday night. We came in, we got a practice in. Obviously made corrections today. Seeing the energy level of towards improvement. I think they're truly embracing that thought process. And I thought we got better today.
Coach, on Saturday, did you feel like there was a loss of confidence within the game by the whole team? And if so, is that concerning 6 games into the season that they kind of reverted back to something that's haunted them in the past?
I think that as we come off a game where you have success, and showed the ability of what we're capable of playing, there, at least for even part of the, North Carolina game. I think it's human nature to think that you've gotten past something, or that, you almost take for granted, how challenging it is to win a play, or more or less, a game. And, I thought our guys did, I did think they worked last week. I didn't think that, I didn't think they went through the motions, but, when we gave up a couple of those explosive, plays early, and we found ourselves behind. I think it was a little bit of a shock to the guys, and just to say reverted back or whatnot. It was they've got to play with the confidence of what they're capable of doing. We've seen swings in games. We were down 21-7 to Jacksonville State and came back and played really good football throughout. We've seen the capabilities of how we're able to play in a half of football. Those things you've got to have faith and belief that really it just takes one play. It takes that next play that making sure that you're doing your job, making sure that you're staying focused on the details of what you're being asked to do, and then when you get the opportunity, you got to have confidence to go make the play. That's the reality. So we had so many missed opportunities in that game that could have been the difference. And you could see that play out in the course of any game. You see that play out in the course of a season. But we just need to, we've got to build confidence through the investment of what we're doing, and then that's got to show up throughout any contest, whether you're up or whether you're down. You got to trust that going into the next play.
Coach, even though it was an elusive effort, your ground game was able to get going, and that was a positive aspect of Saturday. What has led to the success that you had there, and also what can you take away from just the first half of the season?
Yeah, there's a lot of takeaways. I think I'm seeing growth, and even though it was a a losing effort this last Saturday. I mean, there's things that you see, growth from whether it's individuals, whether it's position groups, just overall collective mindset of how we come to work and what we're doing. There is growth going on in this program. And, I think when you talk about the run game, I think our guys are building confidence in what we're able to do. And it's, we're seeing the explosive runs showing up. We're seeing, guys that are growing up front. I mean, we're playing a lot of young guys, we've played a lot of different combinations throughout the course of the year, but, that chemistry is really, starting to emerge and overall understanding. And the thing you come back and you see a lot of missed opportunities in the run game that we had in the the game on Saturday. I mean, there were some IDs or different thoughts that things that we'd kind of gone over that we didn't quite execute as well as what we should have, that might have provided a couple of more opportunities. And so it's just that constant development, the constant encouragement and growth, and then being able to go out there and play with that confidence, playing and play out, and be able to trust your eyes, trust your fundamentals, and then those explosive plays will show up. And as we look at a football team halfway through, I have seen an improvement in how we prepare. I've seen an improvement in the effort that we're giving at practice, and the effort that we're pouring into each other. And it's it is a unique year in a lot of regards. And the thing with this team is being able to see the examples that build the confidence. And we've had those. We've had plays. We've had quarters. We've had halves. And being able to achieve that success. We just have to put it all together. And that's one of the things that we're pushing, is just the consistency of the action, and not worrying about the scoreboard, not worrying about the opponent, not worrying about all the other factors that don't really matter. Just focus on doing our job. Focus on going out there and giving everything that we have to the best of our ability, and the rest will take care of itself. And like I said, and I've said it multiple times through the year, I've got a lot of confidence in these guys and what they can do, and we just have to be more consistent in being able to go out there and get it done.
When you have some situations like either too many guys going into the wrong gap, or receivers kind of running free, or breakdowns in assignments, has it been more a case of guys not knowing exactly what they're supposed to do, or trying to do too much?
Oh, no, the understanding of what to do is, that there could have been times earlier in the year. It's to a point where, when we're in a position, you got to trust your fundamentals to put you in the best place once you're aligned, and go execute the job. And I think that some guys try to do a little bit too much when you talk about gap integrity, and obviously, there's some things that showed up on film where you got two guys out leveraging two players, and we not using the proper footwork and steps, or this, that, and the other, and it opens up a big run seam. And those are things that we just have to consistently harp on and demand out of our guys, that we are, like, in the moment, you have to trust those fundamentals, because there were a couple of plays where you just, it shouldn't happen. But when you don't rely on those fundamentals, you put yourself in a position to not execute, to not be able to play to the best of the ability with all the right intentions. But it's everybody's got to play as 11 as one. And then there were instances in the game where we got two guys free, to make the play. We got to trust to go make the play. You're in the position. Trust the training. Go, fire your shot and make the play. And that's something that we have to continue to do a better job of. And I think that's just a part of our growth. And that's one of the things that is frustrating. There were times. You wait a 3rd and 11. The first series that we're in man coverage, and we got beat on a route, and there's things we could do technique-wise, better, being better leveraged, do some things like that. But even in that example, the young man that got beat on that route, 2 plays later, 2 other times later in the game, same receiver, man-to-man coverage, and he was able to win those matchups. So you talk about growth, you talk about things that's how confidence is built. It's you don't ever want to give up the big play. You don't ever, but when you're playing quality teams, there's sometimes you'll lose a one-on-one. All right, but how do you respond to that situation? What do you take from that lesson? And it was Jarvis. He came back two more times later in the game, and was able to do his job and to win that matchup and grow from it. So those are some of the things that I see, and some of the things that showed up throughout the course of the game. But I want guys that are confident in every aspect of what we're doing. When you're in a position to make the play, go make the play. Go trust the fundamentals, and there's just some in those moments we got to be better there.
Mike, you touched on this a little bit already when talking about the run game, but I'm curious to get your thoughts on the offensive line and where maybe you've seen the most growth from that unit, I guess, from the time you guys first got here to right now midway through the season.
Yeah, I think that they're developing in all those aspects we're talking about. I think fundamentally, Coach Atkins is doing a really nice job with them. Their understanding of the run scheme. We're trying to put them in the best position that we can with the different run schemes that we're presenting to create angles and to create movement. And these guys buy into that. And like I said, there's still some things that we're 6 games in. And we do have a good amount of versatility in our run game attack, and but these guys like that. They want to be pushed. They want to be challenged, and I think that you're seeing that confidence starting to emerge that they can run the football. I don't know the exact numbers. I think we're pushing close to 5 yards a carry on the season, and that's something that is that's an objective that we want to be known for. We want to be a team that can run the football because that's going to open up everything else on the perimeter. And you saw those one-on-one opportunities present themselves. We had a handful of drop passes there in the game that would have really could have swung the game in a different way for us offensively. And that's where everybody's got to play as one, and we got to maximize the opportunities when we get them. But it's all got to start there with the run game.
Hey, Coach, with the bye week and you guys have a little extra time here, when you have a unit that's struggling like your defense right now coming off that game, can you somehow go back to the drawing board, or is it really just more, we really got to more emphasize the fundamentals and, trusting what you're doing?
Well, you go back and you look at, you look at the course of the first 6 games, and, what is it that we've done well? What is it that, maybe, we don't have as good of an understanding on when it comes to concepts or fits or things like that, and, making sure that we're always evaluating. We're still, as these guys have been through a lot of change and a lot of different expectations, and, I never talk about a first year. There's a lot of coaches that are in their first year. The difference for these kids a little bit is that they're in their first year coming off of 3 different coaches in 3 years, and or whatever 4 years. And it's just there's so much change in expectation and obviously assignment and how to do things. And so believing in that's part of the growing in the trust of what guys are being asked to do, how they're being asked to do it, being able to see the confidence and grow in the confidence of how that plays out. And so that's part of our growth together. And that's something that we've done defensively, it's something we've done offensively, special teams. Every piece of our program has to develop this week, and we've got to do a great job of coaches of putting them in the best position for them to be able to play fast, play confident, and go out there and execute consistently the techniques that they're being asked to do. And every week's going to have a little different aspect when it comes to a game plan, trying to stop what somebody else does or to be able to attack them offensively. But it all has to surround our guys and what we do, and so but understanding those core concepts and building off of the experiences that we have, good and bad. That's going to be critical here moving forward.
Hey, Mike, I was wondering how Jordan's doing. I know it seemed like he was wayward by the end of that game, and I just what the film showed about Chuba and kind of his debut, what you saw from him in the film.
Yeah, Jordan's doing fine. He's sore. There was still, he went into the game sore. He practiced the week prior. I was really proud of him for what he did, but that's kind of part of part of it as you're go along throughout the season. We're trying to be really smart with all of our guys this week. and just what we're doing, because we do need to heal up. I mean, you look at there's position groups all across the our football team that are thin and that are banged up, and we've got to get some guys back out there on the field, and so trying to make the most of this week to be able to do that. But I think Jordan's doing well. He practiced today. With Chuba being able to get him his first game experience, I think that was critical. It was an opportunity for him to go in and kind of get a sense of the speed of the game. You had missed out on the scrimmages. There earlier in the year. So to be able to see him go out and operate, he did some good things. Obviously, some learning experiences just with his eyes and progressions that he's going through. But he made some really good throws in the moments. Had a couple of drops that didn't help him out. But I liked his composure. He had a big even on a third or fourth down situation, or his fourth down situation, be able to scramble and throw a great ball down the field, and we got to be able to finish on that. But one of the most impressive plays was seeing him step up in the pocket. He actually took a shot on one throw, and there was no hesitation. I mean, it was good to see a young quarterback do, especially a guy coming off of an injury. And so I was pleased with what I saw from Chuba, and excited about his continued development.
As a guy who played wide receiver, I'm sure you've seen games where players who are dependable maybe drop a pass here or there. But to have as many as you guys had in that game, is it a lack of focus? Is it pressing, as you mentioned earlier?
I think, I really think, as you go through it, everybody wanting to make the play and everybody wanting to, when you have a couple negative things that happen, whether you're down on the scoreboard, whether you've missed an opportunity before, you just need that explosive play. With all the right intentions, you abandon your fundamentals. You start looking up the field too early, trying to score the touchdown rather than secure the catch. And those are things like any one of those moments might be the play that gives us that kind of springs us forward. And it was. Our kids, I'll tell you, I thought our receivers did a really good job in practice last week. We're shorthanded. There's no doubt about it. Terry's out. We've had a couple different situations that occurred at receiver. Warren wasn't able to. He didn't practice much last week and wasn't able to finish the game. And so those guys are being asked to do a lot, but. In the moment, just trusting in those fundamentals, making sure that you're making the routine things routine. And, that's, one of the things that was impressive. We came up here, I guess it was Sunday, and, guys are in the weight room early, catching jugs machines. They're doing, they're working on improving. And so, we got a good group of guys. It's just unfortunate we didn't execute better there on Saturday.
Mike, whether it's Chuba Curry playing late in the game, Sidney Williams, I think you've used this phrase before, Coach Fuller has as well, investing in younger players to develop them with in-game reps. So why is that so important for this program and for your philosophy as a coach to put young guys in and give the opportunity early in their careers to kind of, sink or swim, for lack of a better phrase?
Yeah, I think there's no substitute for experience, and when you're able to get on the field and play, and get a sense of the speed there early in your career, it really allows you to have a greater appreciation for the importance of those little things, and you'll make sure that your eyes are where they need to be. You make sure your footwork is proper, and being able to process as quick as you need to process offense, defense, or special teams. And so we played a lot of young guys, and throughout my coaching career, I've has been routinely that we have played a ton of young players, because I believe in the development of what comes along with that, and then obviously with this year not counting for their eligibility purposes, it really provides a lot of flexibility, and we've seen guys that have been able to come in and make an impact, whether it's offensively or defensively, but then also in special teams. It's been big for our program, and I'm pleased with what I'm seeing, and that's a critical factor in what we do and how we develop our young guys. Every Sunday night, we'll do an additional, whether 15, 20 minutes just focused on guys that didn't play in the prior game, trying to help them develop. And then, even like today's practice, when we finished up with the older guys, we got another, 15, 20 minutes with guys that, are in that developmental, place in their career. And, whether it's a junior or a freshman, we're all trying to invest in these guys and helping them be the best version of themselves.
obviously news this year, kind of not being able to practice next Tuesday with election. I know it's something dating back to kind of the offseason Marv talked about when the team meeting, wanting to get the team registered to vote. I was wondering if you had an idea of, I guess, how much of the team is registered to vote, and is you or someone on staff monitoring if and how guys are voting?
We have done everything within our, I guess, ability, to try to monitor that as well of who's been registered. We've had different guys on the team, which has been really impressive to kind of say, like, there was one day Cam McDonald was down in the locker, outside the locker room with voter registration, steps of how to do that, and making sure that encouraging guys to be a part of that. And then, it's been something that's been, a constant throughout the semester, not just with our football team, with our athletic department. I really appreciate the push from all the student athletes and the support that has been given for our players, and the opportunity to be able to, whether it's an early voting opportunities, or it's mail-in for guys that are from out of state that have the opportunity to vote, and we try to keep those reminders for them, and then just the encouragement of that this is an opportunity for you to have a voice and to be able to use that voice for a significant impact, and that's it's been nice seeing our guys really embrace that.